If you've ever thought about flipping a house, or maybe you flipped a house, and you didn't quite get the reception when you listed it that you thought you would, then this episode is for you. Even with flips, there are certain strategies and tips that we can put into place to help market those properties and get more eyes on them faster, which more eyes should hopefully translate into more offers and a higher asking price or sale price. So stay tuned to this episode where we talk about 5 tips to market your flip. Well, hey there, my name is Amber Miller, and for the last 15 years, I have been flipping houses and renovating and designing and listing them. I do all of the things when it comes to house flipping and real estate investing, and today I'm going to talk about 5 tips that you can use to market any of your flip projects. Now, I know for the last few years we've been in a really strong seller's market, and it might seem like people don't need to do much extra to get multiple offers on their properties. But my goal for you is to create a long-lasting and sustained house flipping business, not one that's just the result of luck, right? Or good timing. I want to change the way people think about house flipping in making it a tangible long-term business that can affect you in a positive way financially. So, number 1, when you flip a house and you're going to be marketing it, you want to be talking about those improvements and renovations you made. You would be surprised when you have buyers go through a property that many times, aside from like visible things, they don't necessarily know what other improvements have been made. So maybe they can see the new flooring, the new kitchen, the new cabinets, the new bathroom that's been added, but they don't really know about the things that they can't see. So explaining and describing the value in those things, like a new roof, especially if you live in a climate where maybe it's covered by snow right now, you want to make sure you're letting them know that that's been improved as well. Windows, siding, mechanicals, things behind the walls that they can't see. One of my favorite things that I always do when I'm hosting open houses on flips is I make sure that people know it's not just the things that they can see that have been improved and upgraded, but it's often the things that they cannot see. So if there's been additional insulation added, if there's been a new HVAC system or furnace added, new water heater, all of those things add to the value and the perceived value for buyers of a flip property. So make sure you're talking about them. Number 2, make sure that the photos that are being provided are actually of the renovated spaces and they're professional photos. Make sure they look good. And then also make sure that the description of the spaces in your listings is also something that would appeal to a potential buyer. Oftentimes that very first showing is online and all they're gonna see is the words and the descriptions that are added to those photos. So I'm always very intentional with my listings to make sure I'm putting in, light and bright space, not just open concept floor plan, but I'm putting in, imagine hosting every family gathering for the next year in this beautiful kitchen, right? A dining room is not just a place to have a table and chairs, it's a place to gather and make memories. A kitchen island or a peninsula is not just casual seating, it can also be a place to have additional area for serving, and it can also be a place where you enjoy that quiet morning cup of coffee. It's those descriptions and potential uses of the space that really starts to paint that picture for the buyer and create that attention and that detail and that draw to your property that's going to make it stand out in the best of ways. Okay, number 3, maximizing curb appeal. Now, I know depending on where you live, and I know depending on what season it is, this can be a challenge. Trust me, I live in Minnesota. I just listed a home where we had so much fresh snow, courtesy of Mother Nature, that we didn't even really have any greenery to highlight the home. And because of the time of year, I didn't have seasonal pots I could place out front, but what I did have was an overhang. So I put a couple small chairs and a side table there, a couple of decorative pillows, and then I made sure to make the selections for my exterior kind of those ones that really stood out that were not dependent on the weather. So I chose a 3/4 light glass door that highlights the natural light between the inside and outside. I chose a modern address number set as well as a mailbox and a great light. And I made sure that even though that curb appeal photo wasn't great because of the lack of greenery we have right now, I did make sure to have a smaller picture taken by the photographer of just that front entry area so that they would at least recognize that and draw that correlation when they came to look at the property. Sometimes we can't control all of the things, but if you have the ability to add that extra greenery to draw people in outside, add the fresh mulch, add that small seating area out front for extra value and to enhance what the life could be like if they live there and how they could sit outside and watch the sunset, that's all going to add to the overall marketability of your property. Okay, number 4, make sure you're pricing your property right. Oftentimes, especially in markets where there's a lot of demand and not a lot of supply, we can see people overprice their properties, but being a little bit below that top price point will actually help get more traffic into your property. And if the market will sustain a higher price or an over listing price for the sale price, the buyers will determine that for you in the form of multiple offers. So it's better to have more traffic than none or less traffic, because more traffic should likely translate into more offers. And that's so much more preferred rather than having a house that's priced too high, that doesn't get the traffic in, that gets feedback that it's overpriced, and then you have to make those price reductions because you never get that very first chance again to just be listed on the market. And number 5, make sure you're listing with a professional. Make sure you're listing with somebody who knows how to put those photos into the MLS or the listing service they're going to use so that they maximize the experience. Not every photo needs to be in there. You want to put the photos in that highlight the space and the renovations the most. You also want to add those descriptions. You want that professional to also help you with staging recommendations if you need them, and also getting the right photographer there who's going to take the pictures that are the most favorable to maximize the value of your property. So all of these tips can be used no matter what type of market you are working in. I have been staging homes since about 2011. So I was doing it long before it was considered a seller's market, simply because it's part of the branding that I like to use with my house flips. Because even if a property that an agent walks through with a client isn't the right fit for them, if they enjoy that experience, if they like the finishes that they saw, if they enjoyed the description and thought the property was priced right, then they'll definitely be looking for my next flip to come on the market as well. So I hope these tips were helpful. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that you never miss a video to help you build, scale, and grow your house flipping business. Until next time, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.